Hello friends, my name is Sapna Goyal and my channel is Sapna Goyal 1985. Through this video, we are going to study class 10th history lesson 5 of NCERT book, that is the age of industrialization. I have added 6 videos for this chapter, and in this video we are going to take up part 1 of the chapter. The first topic is before the Industrial Revolution. Students, it is important to know that Industrial Revolution began in Great Britain. That means initial factories came up in Great Britain and initial technological innovations were also British. So, the period before the coming up of factories is referred to as Proto-industrialization. Proto means pre or early form of something. Proto-industrialization has some features and they are as follows. Production was done with the help of human labor during this phase. That means it was not done through machines. Workers, they worked within their family farms. That means within their house or in small workshops. They did not work in factories. And the system was entirely controlled by merchants. That means small businessmen. So students, merchants of Europe, they wanted to produce textiles for sale in the international market, but they could not do so within the towns of Europe. Now why was this so? Because in towns, urban crafts and trade guilds associations were very powerful. Now what are trade guild associations? These were associations of traders. These associations restricted the entry of new people into trade. In fact, many of them got monopoly rights from rulers to trade. That means they got the right that only these guilds can trade goods in city areas. So now new merchants, they could not buy or sell textiles within the towns. So they moved to the countryside. That means to the village areas. There they employed peasants and artisans to produce textiles for the international market. Now students, you might think that why the poor peasants and artisans agreed to work for the merchants so easily. So here are the reasons. The first reason is advances. The merchants gave advances to the peasants to produce goods for them. That means some advance payment was made for buying raw material. Weavers could buy yarn, spinners could buy cotton. So for all this they needed money which was provided in advance. Second reason is cultivation. By working for the merchants, peasants could remain in the village and they could side by side cultivate their small plots. Next reason is income. Income from farming was very small for the peasants and artisans. So they thought by producing for the merchants, they can get an additional source of income. And the last reason is their entire family labor could be used because they had small plots of land on which entire family could not work. So with the production of cotton textiles, their entire family labor could be used. So we can see here the process of production, or I can call it the story of shirt. Merchant purchases wool from stapler. Stapler is that person who sorts wool according to its fiber. Then wool goes to spinner. Spinner spins the yarn. Yarn goes to weaver. Weaver weaves the cloth. Cloth goes to fuller. He gathers the cloth by pleating. And then it goes to dyers. Dyers dye the cloth and then give it to the merchant. Then merchant sends this cloth to London for finishing. And finally, merchant sells the cloth in the international market. The next topic is coming up of the factory. Now gradually in Europe, factories started coming up. Richard Arkwright created the first cotton mill. And children, there were many advantages of factory or mill production. It is important to know that in this chapter, the terms factory or mill have been used interchangeably. Otherwise, both the terms have slightly different meanings. So here are the advantages. Initially, when there were no factories, the spinning work, weaving, dyeing, etc. went on in different domestic units. They were not under one roof. So with factory, all this work came under one roof. As a result, the supervision of the work became possible. The quality of cloth and other weaving work and spinning work could be checked. Even the labor could be regulated. New costly machines could be purchased and they could be set up and maintained in the mill. Next topic is the pace of industrial change. So, how rapid was the pace of industrial change? The initial phase of industrialization was up to 1840s when only cotton and metal industries developed. The second phase came up after 1840s when iron and steel industry developed due to expansion of railways. An interesting fact here is that most of the labor force was employed in family farms or within small workshops. Less than 20% was only employed in advanced industry. But the small manufacturing did not remain stagnant. There were many small innovations in pottery, building, etc., which led to growth of non-mechanized industries as well. New technology, it was coming up, but the changes were slow because new machines, they were expensive. They very quickly broke down and the repair of these machines was also costly. Moreover, these new machines, they were not very effective there as their inventors claimed them to be. And the most important invention was of steam engine. It enhanced the productivity of labor manyfold, but even this was slow to be accepted. And children, it is important to know that the steam engine was used for running the machines in factories. Earlier, electricity was not there, so steam engine powered the machines. Thank you so much.